Good evening aspirants, welcome to Daily Newspaper Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 26th December 2024. These are the topics we are going to discuss in this video. The first topic is about the Belagavi session, which is conducted by Congress Party as a homage to Gandhi and Ambedkar as it is nearing the 100th anniversary of Belagavi session. The second topic is about the Ken-Betwa river linking project. The third topic is about the real effective exchange rate, which is nearing all-time high, and we are going to discuss about the real effective exchange rate and nominal exchange rate. And the last topic is about Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami, how Indian Ocean tsunami in 2004 has transformed how we study tsunamis and early warning systems about tsunami. So these are the four articles we are going to discuss in this video. Now let us get into the discussion. Now look at this news article. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has unveiled a river linking project. The project is going to link the Ken River and Betwa River. This is situated in Bundelkhand region in Madhya Pradesh. So both the Ken River and Betwa River are in Madhya Pradesh region. So this river linking project has raised various ecological concerns because the river linking project might affect the Panna tiger reserve in Madhya Pradesh. So this is what the news article is talking about. In this context, let us discuss about this river linking project, the Ken River and Betwa River, its geographical features, and what are the ecological concerns regarding this river linking project. So this is what we are going to discuss in this news article discussion. Now let us get into the discussion. First about the river linking project. So this river interlinking project is going to link the Ken River and Betwa River, both flowing in Madhya Pradesh. The purpose of this river interlinking project is to address the water scarcity in Bundelkhand region. So this Bundelkhand region is present in the northern Madhya Pradesh and also forms a part of southern Uttar Pradesh. So the part of southern Uttar Pradesh and northern Madhya Pradesh forms the Bundelkhand region. And this Bundelkhand region faces water scarcity and droughts. So in order to address this water scarcity, this river interlinking project is proposed. So how this river interlinking project will address the water scarcity? See, the Ken River has abundance of water. It has more water resources. But the Betwa River basin, which is also in other part of Madhya Pradesh, faces water scarcity. So the abundance of water in Ken River is going to be diverted to the Betwa River basin, which needs water. So this is why the Ken River and Betwa River are going to be interlinked. So this is this project, and this project is going to cost 45,000 crores for central government. And this project has three important significance. One is it will provide irrigation to the farmers. It will provide drinking water facilities to the cities and towns, and it will also create energy generation, that is hydropower, which is a renewable energy generation for India's renewable energy targets. So these are the three important significance of this river interlinking project. Now what is the geographical features of this rivers? First, if you take the Ken River, it originates in Madhya Pradesh in Kaimur Hills. So K in Ken refers to Kaimur Hills, KK. So this Ken River originates in Kaimur Hills in Madhya Pradesh and it flows into Yamuna. Both the Ken River and Betwa River are tributaries of Yamuna, and this river flows through the Panna tiger reserve. So the Betwa River also originates in Madhya Pradesh and it also flows into Yamuna River. This Betwa River has an ancient name called Vetravati. So this is about the basic details of the two rivers. And this region where they flow is called Bundelkhand, and as I have said earlier, it forms the southern part of Uttar Pradesh and northern part of Madhya Pradesh, that is in the middle of India. So this is a semi-arid region and it is a drought prone. So in order to address this water scarcity only, this river interlinking project is proposed. Now if you look at the components of this project, there is a Daudhan dam which is going to be constructed on this Ken River, and this dam will divert the water into an interlinking canal. And this canal will be 221 km long, and this canal will link the Ken River and Betwa River and transfers the water from Ken River to the Betwa River. So this is this project. As I have said earlier, it has three important goals: to address irrigation facilities, to address the drinking water problem, and also to generate the renewable energy. So these are the three important significance of this project, and this project forms a part of National River Linking Project, that is NLP. Now there are many environmental concerns regarding this project. If you take the Panna tiger reserve, it is situated in the basin of Ken River. So when the water is going to be diverted from the Ken River to Betwa River, there will be a partial submergence of this Panna tiger reserve. So this Panna tiger reserve is a crucial habitat for preserving the tiger species. So this tiger reserve might be affected by this project. Another important concern regarding this project is affecting the natural flow of river. So this problem happens with every river linking project. So basically the river linking project will divert the water from one river to another river. So this affects the natural flow of the water, and it also affects the biodiversity surrounding the natural flow of water. Another important concern is deforestation. Basically, in order to construct the long canal for interlinking the rivers, there has to be deforestation, and this is also an impact of this project. So these are some of the environmental concerns regarding this project, and there is an ongoing debate between balancing the development and the conservation measures. So these are the basic details of the two rivers. As I have said earlier, the Ken river originates in Kaimur Hills and the Betwa river originates in Vindhyan ranges. Both are situated in Madhya Pradesh. And these rivers originate in Madhya Pradesh and flows to the Uttar Pradesh and joins the Yamuna river, as both of them are tributaries of Yamuna river. So this is the basic details of this two rivers and the river interlinking project. With this, let us discuss an MCQ related to this topic. Consider the following locations associated with Ken-Betwa river linking project. So we have to arrange these locations based on the north-south order. The Bundelkhand region forms the northern part, so it comes the first, and next is Panna Tiger Reserve, and next is Vindhyan range, and lastly Kaimur Hills. So the correct order is 2, 1, 4, 3, and the correct answer is option A. With this, let us conclude the discussion and move to the next news article. Now look at this article. The Congress is conducting a special session called Belagavi session in Belagavi in Karnataka to pay homage for Gandhiji and Ambedkar. This 2024 marks 100-year anniversary of 1924 Congress session, which is presided by Mahatma Gandhiji. So Congress is conducting a session in this year to pay homage for Gandhi's ideas. So in this context, let us discuss about the importance of Belagavi session and also about the ideals of Gandhiji. This 1924 Belagavi session is the only Congress session which is presided over by Gandhiji, and this is the 39th Congress session, and it transformed Congress into a mass movement. Before this session, Congress was just an elite movement or elite organization which focused on the upper middle class of the society. Only after the non-cooperation movement and after the Belagavi session, the Congress transformed into a mass movement. So what are the key concepts discussed in this session? One is Swarajya and Sarvodaya. These are the concepts of Mahatma Gandhiji. Swaraj means self-reliance and Sarvodaya means upliftment of all. So Sarvodaya means just the progress of every living being. And this session also addressed the issue of untouchability, discussed about the Khadi promotion and self-reliance, and it also focused on the democratic functioning of Congress. The prominent figures that took part in this session are Annie Besant and Balagangadhar Tilak, and this session strengthened the Congress as a representative body. It also promoted the idea of linguistic reorganization of states. So this 2024 Congress Belagavi session is focusing on the constitutional and political ideas of Gandhiji and Ambedkar. So in this way, they are paying homage to Gandhi's ideas and Ambedkar's ambitions. So this Belagavi session is going to emphasize on preserving the constitutional values and promoting inclusivity. It will also highlight the contemporary relevance of constitutional values. The values like equality and social justice are discussed in 1924 Belagavi session. So this 2024 Belagavi session is also going to highlight this relevance of constitutional values. Now let us discuss the basics of Gandhian ideology. What are the core principles of Gandhiji? It is rooted in three things: non-violence, that is ahimsa; truth, that is satya; and simple living. Ahimsa, which is non-violence, and it is a powerful tool for change according to Gandhiji. And Swaraj, which means the self-reliance or self-rule. The Swaraj is also focused on the three spheres, that is political, economic and local. Sarvodaya, which means upliftment of all or welfare of all living beings. So this Sarvodaya concept is emphasized by Gandhiji in this Belagavi session, and according to this Sarvodaya philosophy, every living being shares the wealth of the earth, and every living being should be credited according to its labor, and the wealth should be equally distributed to all. So the progress of all as a whole society is aimed by Sarvodaya philosophy. And then Khadi and self-reliance. Gandhi has emphasized the Khadi as the symbol of economic independence or self-reliance. So this Khadi is a tool for rural empowerment, because anyone can weave the Khadi clothes in their home and they can sell it for achieving the economic independence. And then rural development. Gandhiji focused on the economic decentralization for establishing the village industries rather than large machinized or large industries. So he favored the village industries and for economic decentralization. And then the concept of trusteeship. So this philosophy of trusteeship by Gandhi, it simply means that wealthy people should act as a trustees of their wealth. They should control their wealth and they are responsible for sharing the wealth to the poor people. So this is the concept of trusteeship. Now the major Gandhian movements include the non-cooperation movement, which first transformed the Congress into a mass movement in 1920. It focused on boycotting the British goods and abandoning the British institutions. And then civil disobedience movements in 1930, it has a salt march and it is also a mass movement. Then Quit India movement in 1942, it called for immediate end of British rule. So these are the important Gandhian movements. Now let us discuss this MCQ. The Pune Pact was an agreement between which two leaders? So the correct answer is option C, Gandhi and Ambedkar. With this, let us conclude the discussion and move to the next news article. Now look at this article. The article says that the real effective exchange rate for India has reached an all-time high. So the real effective exchange rate, that is called REER, it has reached an all-time high of 108.14. Indian rupee has also been depreciated against US dollar. So this is the news. In this context, let us discuss what is real effective exchange rate, what is nominal effective exchange rate. So this is what we are going to see in this discussion. Now first let us take up the real effective exchange rate. See, this measures the value of a country's currency. For example, it measures the value of India's currency compared to the global economies like US, UK, Russia, China or Japan. So Indian currency is compared to the global currencies and it is adjusted to the inflation rate. So this is the real effective exchange rate. So the exchange rate of India in relative to the global economies and also adjusted to the inflation is called real effective exchange rate. So this accounts for inflation differences. This real effective exchange rate also has a base year of 2016. So the real effective exchange rate provides a more accurate picture because it includes the inflation differences and it gives a picture of India's export competitiveness and import rates. The Reserve Bank of India releases the real effective exchange rate every time. Now let us see the components of real effective exchange rate. So it is a trade weighted average. It means it includes the trade competitiveness like export and imports of a country into the exchange rates. So it takes into account of the trade competitiveness and it includes as a weightage in the calculating the exchange rate. While there is another exchange rate called nominal exchange rate, it doesn't include the trade weighted average. So the real exchange rate also includes the inflation. As I said earlier, it accounts for the inflation differences. So if there is a higher inflation, it means there is a reduction in the export competitiveness. And the base year of real exchange rate is 2015 to 16 for India. And there is an index value called 100 for this real effective exchange rate. Now what happens when the real effective exchange rate crosses the 100 or comes below the 100? Let us see. See, the 100 is the fair value of the currency. If the real exchange rate is at 100, it means there is a complete balance of trade. But always it is not at 100. Sometimes the real exchange rate crosses 100 or comes below the 100. What if it is below the 100? If the real exchange rate is below 100, it means the country currency is undervalued. So this will lead to more exports and less imports. If the real exchange rate crosses above 100, that is, it reaches a value of above 100, it means the country's currency is overvalued. So this leads to less exports and more imports. So this is the interpretation of real exchange rate. So this real effective exchange rate and nominal exchange rate, this question is asked in previous year prelims. So let us understand this concept clearly. Now what is the difference between nominal exchange rate and real effective exchange rate? The nominal exchange rate is a direct exchange rate between two currencies. For example, if you take India's rupee and compare it with the exchange rate of US dollar, it is a nominal exchange rate. It is the exchange rate at present and it is calculated between the two countries' currencies. The real effective exchange rate is a calculation of country's exchange rate. For example, take India's rupee and compare it with multiple currencies or basket of global currencies. So this is what a real effective exchange rate. And another major difference is in nominal exchange rate there is no adjustment for inflation, while in real effective exchange rate it is adjusted for inflation and it also has a base year for inflation difference. If you take a nominal exchange rate, it is calculated typically for one currency, rupee versus US dollar or rupee versus yen. As I have said earlier, in real effective exchange rate it is calculated for over a basket of currencies and there is no trade weightage for nominal exchange rate. It only calculates the exchange rate between the two countries. While in real effective exchange rate, there is a account of trade weightage. It takes into account of the export competitiveness and import rate of a country. So there is a trade weightage in REER and there is no trade weightage in NER. There is no inflation difference in NER and there is inflation difference in REER. So this is a major difference between NER and REER. Now let us look at an MCQ related to this topic. Consider the following statements regarding a real effective exchange rate. Look at the first statement. It provides a more accurate picture of country's competitiveness in global trade compared to the nominal exchange rate. Yes, this is more accurate and this statement is correct. The Ministry of Finance releases REER index for India. This statement is incorrect. We have seen in the discussion, REER is released by Reserve Bank of India. So the second statement is incorrect. Now look at the third statement. The base year for calculation of REER in India is 2011. This is also incorrect. We have seen that the base year is 2015 to 16. So only the first statement is correct and the answer is option A. Now let us move on to the next news article. Now look at this article. 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami has altered how we study the tsunamis and how we look at ancient tsunamis. So it has led to creation of more early warning systems for tsunamis. So this is what the article is talking about. In this context, let us discuss the basics of tsunamis for our prelims exam preparation. Now what is a tsunami? It is a series of large sea waves which are caused by underwater movements. It may be earthquakes, volcanic eruptions or landslides. According to National Disaster Management Authority, the characteristics of tsunamis like the speed of the tsunami is 500 to 1000 km per hour in deep ocean, but when it near to the ocean coast or seashore, the speed decreases. Likewise, the wavelength is over 100 km in deep water, but as it nears the shore, the wavelength also decreases. The speed and the wavelength of tsunami decreases when it is nearing the shore, but the magnitude of the tsunami will increase as it reaches the coast. Now, what are the causes of tsunamis? There are four important causes. One is undersea earthquakes. So these earthquakes will cause displacement of large blocks of earth under the water, and this is due to the movement of tectonic plates, and this causes the displacement of water which reaches greater wavelength and heights. The next one is volcanic eruption. Sometimes the volcanic eruption near the islands or near the mid-ocean reaches will also trigger earthquakes, and this will cause large tsunamis. The next is submarine landslides. The landslides occurring underwater in the oceanic floor can also cause displacement of water which leads to tsunamis. The next one is meteorite impacts. See, the meteorite impacts are very rare, but it also can generate tsunamis. So these are the important causes of tsunamis. Now let us look at the report of 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. This tsunami was caused by an underwater earthquake near Sumatra Island in Indonesia. So this earthquake reached a magnitude of 9.1 in Richter scale, and the epicenter of earthquake was just 30 km below the surface. Epicenter means the point where the energy of the earthquake is released, and the focus point is directly above the epicenter on the ground. So this earthquake originated near the Sunda Trench near the Sumatra Island in Indonesia. It affected nearly 14 countries including India, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Thailand and Maldives. And it has created a 2,27,000 deaths globally and nearly 10,000 deaths in India. Now this 2004 tsunami and the earthquake has altered how we look at the tsunamis and underwater earthquakes. It has led to creation of many early warning systems and highlighted the need for tsunami early warning systems. So Indian Ocean Research has created many tsunami early warning systems in Indian Ocean and Bay of Bengal to detect the tsunamis earlier before they happen. It also led to the establishment of Indian Tsunami Early Warning Center in 2007. So this was operated by Indian National Center for Ocean Information Research, and it functions under Ministry of Earth Sciences. So the headquarters is located at Hyderabad, and it is a real-time tsunami warnings for India and neighboring countries. So this is about Indian Tsunami Early Warning Center, which is created in 2007. Now let us look at the features of Indian Tsunami Early Warning Center. It predicts the arrival time and impact zones of tsunamis, and it has analyzed various ancient and previous tsunami models. It also has the seismic monitoring, which is a network of seismic stations which is spread across the region of Indian Ocean, and it has tide gauges. So these tide gauges monitors the coastal sea levels, and it is present near the shores. There is another important component called ocean bottom pressure recorders, and it measures the sea level changes. So these are the components of Indian Tsunami Early Warning Center. So this Indian Tsunami Early Warning Center is a regional tsunami service provider for Indian Ocean. It also provides warnings to Sri Lanka, Maldives and Myanmar. It issues advisories to Indian Meteorological Department, National Disaster Management Authority and for state governments. So in this discussion, we have seen the basics of tsunami and also about Indian Tsunami Early Warning Center. With this, let us conclude the discussion and move to an MCQ question regarding this topic. So consider the following statements regarding the Indian Ocean Tsunami Early Warning Center. It is operated by Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services. Yes, this is correct. This we have seen in the discussion. Now look at the second statement. The system uses a network of seismic stations, tidal gauges and deep ocean pressure sensors to detect tsunamis. Yes, this is also correct. The system is designed to issue warnings within 5 minutes of seismic event. Yes, this statement is also correct. So all the three given statements are correct and the correct answer is option D. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.